Joe Biden and I are both people of faith, and it's insulting to suggest that we would knock anyone for their faith. And in fact, Joe, if elected, will be only the second practicing Catholic as President of the United States.
Oh, man, as she sat there with that phony smile, I could have sworn I saw the forked tongue go right through. Maybe it was my imagination. Welcome back, everybody. One of the outright lies told by Kamala Harris in last night's debate. How can Joe Biden be a practicing Catholic, as I am one, I should know, if he supports the slaughter of unborn babies and then taking money from the butcher shop Planned Parenthood? Let's ask author Marjorie Dannenfelser. Her latest book, Life is Winning: Inside the Fight for the Unborn Children and Their Mothers. It's available now. Marjorie, thanks for taking the time.
Oh, what a pleasure. What a great opening. Sad and great.
Yes, ma'am. You know, with the Supreme Court on everybody's mind right now, is it fair to say that life is on the ballot in 2020?
There's no question about it, and I think you saw that at the debate last night. She was on the defense the whole time. He was calm and on the offense when it comes to life. I thought it was amazing how defensive she was and how she simply lied. I mean, she did, in fact, go after judges for their faith. We saw it in the Judiciary Committee. A guy who was a Knights of Columbus member, and therefore he was suspect because of his faith. So there's no question, and we're really in the middle of, frankly, what I talk about in that book is going from defense to offense on the life issue, and we're living that right now. Last night was certainly Object A.
Yeah, well, let me ask you about that, too, because the premise of your book, it sounds like you were saying that the pro-life argument is winning. And I've watched this shift mostly via the polling, because I've always been opposed to slaughtering children in the womb, but that's because I'm a practicing Catholic. So what do you think the argument is that is winning the day? What is convincing folks to say, you know what, this abortion on demand thing is wrong?
Yeah, a couple of things have happened over the last decade. One is that we took a pretty consensus issue, the 20-week, 5-month pain-capable bill, a time when almost everyone believes that abortion is really unthinkable. And we put that at the center of campaigns. And we found that in the center of Senate campaigns and center of Republican primaries, that our candidates were finding their voice on this issue. They were a little uncomfortable with some of the arguments, even though they really were pro-life. But once they started talking about this, they started to really get to the humanity of this, the humanity meaning the humanity of the unborn child. And that's where the other side, of course, loses. And they know that they are. They've said it out loud to each other, where we're losing the moral high ground. And then further, we saw in the last several years, real moments where the whole nation was riveted around what the human being is that is in that place that is fighting for its life and it doesn't even know. In the Gosnell movie, the horrific abortionist in Philadelphia that took the feet of children as little trophies for abortions. And then the Center for Medical Progress, Planned Parenthood, and on, several object lessons like that, including partial birth abortion.
Yeah, Marjorie, I've only got about a minute and a half left. I just wanted to ask you the impact that it had upon you, and maybe this dovetails into my last question, too. The impact of watching in New York State leftists cheering at the fact that they could slaughter a child in the 3rd trimester, and in Virginia, where they tried to pass an infanticide bill which would have allowed a child to be killed once born. Could that be also what's shocking the system of the United States and saying these people on the Democrat side are really inhuman?
Yeah, it is crushing, even to hear you say it out loud. Whenever it's said out loud, it's just crushing. People didn't know it was even legal. Now they do. It's at the center of this presidential battle, and we think that the abortion issue is going to really bring a lot of senators and this president over in those few votes in battleground states that he needs to win, and senators need to win.
Yeah, folks, I recommend the book, Life is Winning: Inside the Fight for Unborn Children and Their Mothers. Marjorie Dannenfelser, thank you very much for the time here on the Salcedo Show. When we come back, folks, Congressman Doug Collins joining us on Obamagate, the Democrats' refusal to call out China, and so much more. It's Chris Salcedo Show here on Newsmax TV.